Have you ever heard of the great American ski racer Bode Miller? Well, after listening to this, you'll surely know all you need to know about him. You'll know all of his accomplishments and all of his accomplishments, all of his gear, and anything you need to know about him. The first thing I'll tell you about is all of the gear and all the events that there are in alpine ski racing. Second, I'll tell you about Bode Miller's life growing up and everything he did. Third, I'll tell you about all of his accomplishments and all of his Olympic experiences that he has made. The first thing that I will tell you about is all the events. There are 5 different events in alpine ski racing. There's slalom, giant slalom, super G, which is super giant slalom, downhill, and super combined. Super combined is a combination of one run of slalom and another run of downhill. This shows the overall best skier, so to say. He has many sponsors. He is sponsored by POC Protection, which is helmet and goggles, and also has some other protection like a back protector for speed. One of his main sponsors is Head Skis and Boots, which he skis on with every event. He's also sponsored by Leaky Poles and Solden, Austria, the resort there. He also has a few other sponsors. Like said in jockbio.com, Bode Miller lived in the woods of New Hampshire with his parents when he was little. So at that house they had no electricity and no plumbing. Bode Miller started skiing at the age of 3 with his parents in New Hampshire. Following that, he was homeschooled until he was 10 years old, and then he would have to walk from his house in the woods to the school bus for middle school. After that, he was sent off to boarding school in Maine, and he skied there. And when he skied there, the coaches didn't think he was that good of a skier because he had a different style than most people did. He sat back in the back seat, and his motto, he wasn't consistent. His motto was, he either wins or he crashes. He just went for it. But what Bode did do that most people didn't do is he paid attention to the little things, the little mistakes that people would make, and he would try to fix that in his skiing to make himself better. When Bode was 19 years old, he got 3rd place at Nationals, and this qualified him for the U.S. ski team. When Bode went to his first World Cup experience, he was 22nd after the first run of GS. That's unheard of to do by someone in their first World Cup race. So his coaches said, just make a nice solid run for your second run and get a good result. But that wasn't Bode's style. Bode went for it as hard as he could, and he ended up 11th place. This is something you'll probably never see in alpine ski racing again. 11th place in your first World Cup race. Bode Miller has been to 4 Olympics so far, and this winter at Sochi will be his 5th, and his last he has announced. Said from the USSkiTeam.com, Bode has accomplished to have a couple of Olympic gold medals, and he is one of a very few amount of people that have got medals in 4 out of the 5 events, slalom being the only one that he has not got a medal in. Bode Miller is the most successful male ski racer in the United States. The only person that is ahead of him is Lindsey Vonn, but she is a girl. This year, in 2013, Bode opted to take off the season and get a knee surgery from an injury he had in 2001. This year, in the Winter Olympics, Bode says that his knee will be stronger than it has been in 10 years, so that's a really good sign. I hope that you have liked learning about Bode Miller because he's a great inspiration to me and an inspiration to he should be an inspiration to everybody. Now you know everything about Bode Miller, and if you're watching the Winter Olympics this year, I recommend trying to watch some alpine ski racing because it's a great thing to watch, and I think everybody should see it someday.
All right. We're supposed to show your skis.
Oh shit.